Welcome back to my channel. This is Maviji, Assistant Professor in English, Valala College of Education, Erode. I'm here with an interesting topic, that is, being a teacher, we all should be familiar with how to write a lesson plan, right? And here I'm going to share a model lesson plan for level 1. Hope you all knew that for level 1 you have to take topics from the standard 6 to 8, and for level 2 9th and 10th, right? So now I'm going to share how to write a lesson plan for level 1 in English subject. Okay, so let's start. This is the first page format actually, and this format should be followed while you people are submitting your lesson plan for the practicals, right? So name of the student teacher, then your register number, name of the college where you people are studying, and name of the supervisor, that is your pedagogy, your tutor will be there, right, in order to guide you. That person should be called as supervisor, and then you have to write the subject, then standard. Please note that standard and all should be written in Roman letter, and then unit number. Then you have to write the topic which you people are going to concentrate now, and the date and duration will be always 45 minutes, and it may vary also. In some schools they may follow 50 or 55 minutes also. So this is the general thing, okay? And so that will be coming in the first page, and after that you have to list out the instructional objectives. So the first page, as usual, the details of yourself and your subject, your supervisor, all those things. And the second page, instructional objectives. All the instructional objectives should be listed out here. And the instructional objectives, it should begin with the verbs, and we have a list of verbs which should be used while writing the objectives. Please make note of all those verbs, and let me share that also. And now I have given 5 different objectives here, and please make a note that all the objectives have been started with verb. And the first line, next to the word instructional objective, I have mentioned the student, that is must, okay? And after that only you have to list out different objectives, and here I have given 5 different objectives. And following that, the third page, in the third page, please make note, 3 things should be mentioned. One is resources, and the second one is previous knowledge, and the third one is topic introduction. Okay, third page you have to mention 3 different things. The first one is instructional resources required, and second one is previous knowledge of the learner, and the last one is introduction of the topic. So instructional resources requirements, it's nothing but TLM. What are the TLMs you people are planning to use and how to handle? All those things should be mentioned there, okay? And in the previous knowledge, you have to check the previous knowledge of the students before starting the class. So you can use double H questions. Why I'm mentioning double H question, I'll tell you later, because in the upcoming pages we have to deal again that, okay? So while asking previous knowledge question, you can use double H questions also. So minimum 3 or 4 questions can be asked, and after that you can introduce the topic. And please bear it in your mind that while asking the previous knowledge question, all the questions should be relevant to your topic. Irrelevant questions should be avoided. Okay, usually the students will be asking, had your breakfast, had your lunch, shall we move on to the lesson, like that and all. So there's nothing between your breakfast and the topic, okay? So no need to ask irrelevant questions. If you are asking questions, surely there should be some link between your question and the topic. Ask those types of questions alone, no need to ask irrelevant, okay? And after that you have to introduce the topic, that is today we people are going to discuss, we people are going to learn a new thing, like that. You have to introduce the topic, okay? So this is what I have mentioned. In the third page you have to write instructional resources required, previous knowledge, and then topic introduction. And the fourfold objective starts now. So your column, your content page, it should be classified into 4 different columns. The first one is content, then specification of behavioral objectives, and then learning experience, and the last one is evaluation column. So in the content column, as usual, you can mention what is given in the textbook, okay? If it is a poem, you can write the poetic lines. If it is a prose, you can mention the paragraph. If it is grammar, if you are selecting grammar also, means you can simply list out the definition and examples of that particular grammar item, okay? So content will be very simple. And the next one is specification. Here kindly note it down. In the specification, you are going to list out some 5 or 6 objectives, right? What are all the objectives you have mentioned in page number 2? All those objectives should be mentioned here as specification. Okay, all the verbs, the first word you have used is a verb, right? So all those verbs should be mentioned, should be used again here as specification, and same verbs should be used and in the same order also. Okay, and then learning experience. In this learning experience, we people are going to explain what happened between the teacher and the student, how the teacher conveyed the message and how the students received the message. And please bear it in your mind that all these things should be in present tense. Okay, it is simply a planning, so it's the present tense. All those tenses, all those sentences should be in present tense. And at the end, that is the fourth column, that is evaluation column, here relevant to the dialects, relevant to the content which you people have discussed, you can post some questions. Okay, and here in the previous knowledge I told you that you can use WH question, but here in the evaluation column you should not use WH question. This is must. Okay, this is a rule actually. While asking previous knowledge, while checking the previous knowledge, you can use WH questions. And while teaching, that is during that evaluation, you should not ask WH question. Okay, so if you are using 5 objectives, 5 exchanges should be here. Okay, first teacher should start and then student should reply all the words. Okay, so content as usual, whatever is given the textbook you can use, and specification, whatever you have mentioned in the objectives, the same verbs should be repeated here, and that too in the same order. And then exchanges, that is teacher and student should share their experience, right? So all those exchanges should be mentioned here. And at the end of the column, that is the last column, you have to ask some questions to the students in order to check their understanding. Okay, so if you are having 5 objectives, you have to write 5 exchanges. If you are having 4, you can write 4. Okay, and at the end you have to write the follow-up activities here. You can use book back questions also, or if you need, you can use book back questions. Otherwise, you can frame your questions, and at the end you can mention signature of the supervisor and signature of the student teacher. So this is the format for writing a lesson plan. So being a teacher, it should be very clear to you, so kindly note it down. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next class.